What's up, guys? It's Andrew from PecksMetalPicks. Today I'm going to be doing what will probably be my last Warped Tour playlist intro ever. The Warped Tour website is saying that this is the last cross-country full tour. Kind of leads me to believe that in the next, I don't know, couple years they're going to do some select dates, but it'll be a much scaled down version and won't be going to every city. So I know this update is coming a little bit later than most times. I'm used to going to the really early California dates in Ventura or San Diego. But this year, just like last year, I'll be at the one in Maryland, at Columbia, Maryland. So the playlist that I made is for me and my friends who are going to be going. There's a couple bands that I had to leave off, like Asking Alexandria and Knocked Loose, just because they're not playing at my date. So the playlist that I made, it's, obviously for the Maryland date, and I'm just going to go through it right now really quick. Obviously, number one, August Burns Red. Anytime they play pretty much any show, they should be number one. They're basically the main pillar of metalcore now, one of the only old bands that still has stuck to their heavy roots, and actually I think keeps getting better and better. So I'm really excited to see them again. After that's going to be Wage War, and this was a close one between Ice Nine Kills and Wage War, but what it really came down to is Ice Nine Kills hasn't put out new music since like out of 2016, 2015 even. They put out like 2 singles and they've toured a lot, but there just isn't really any new material compared to when they toured the last time they were on Warped Tour. That's why they ended up at number 3. But number 2 ended up being Wage War because they did put out an album last year. It was really good. I've seen them a few times and they always blow me away, so that should be really good. And last time that I tried to see them in 2016, they were the very first band of the day, and I got in through the line like 10 or 15 minutes late, so I missed like the first half of their set, and I was pretty bummed about that. So definitely not going to be late this time. Wage War's coming in at number 2. So like I said, Ice Nine Kills is number 3, which means Every Time I Die is going to be number 4. And this is going to be contentious for some people. Every Time I Die, I'm sure some people are going to say they should be number 1. It really depends what kind of music you're into. Every Time I Die, they're going to have a really good live set. They're going to have a ton of energy. They're not going to have a ton of breakdowns. They're not going to be super heavy the entire time. They have a couple songs, a couple sections that slow it down a little bit. But these guys are veterans. And if you've never seen a band like Every Time I Die, Let Live, The Chariot, The Dillinger Escape Plan, this is the kind of band that you're going to want to see before they all die out, because there's really not a lot of bands these days that play the kind of music that Every Time I Die plays, or has the kind of show that they have. Number 5, Chelsea Grin. The heaviest band of Warped Tour for sure. It seems like each year there's 1 or 2 token deathcore bands. This year it's Chelsea Grin again. Every time I've seen them in the recent years, they're really good, but pretty much you have to throw all of that out the window because Alex Kohler's no longer in the band. We now have Tom Barber, the vocalist of Lorna Shore, who is officially the vocalist of Chelsea Grin. So Alex Kohler was improving for a bunch of years. He was getting better and better, but decided, the tour life wasn't really for him. I think he decided to focus on staying sober. I'm not entirely sure about the whole story. Nevertheless, we have Tom Barber from Lorna Shore, who is an absolute madman. I think anybody who's familiar with their music will agree that Tom Barber is heavier, has better range. His highs are going to fit into My Damnation so well. Also has really good lows. So I mostly put them at number 5 because I'm excited to see what Tom Barber can do. And Chelsea Grin, play Recreant, and, it's a heavy hitter no matter what. After that, this is where we actually start getting into some of them where, it's a little shiftier, tougher to make up my mind. Came in with Crown the Empire at number 6, and this is a tough one for me because honestly, I don't really want to support Crown the Empire anymore. And I'm really bummed that David Escamilla, the Screamer, left. I've looked at a couple videos of their live shows now, and it looks like they have the bassist doing half the screams, and then Andy, the clean singer, sort of fills in the backing vocals and makes some of the screams more powerful every once in a while. And you know, their last album really disappointed me, but it seems like they're going to be playing a couple of the old songs, and Zero, which is one of the heavy new songs, pretty much the only new heavy song that they have. So, I don't know, I'm kind of torn on that one because, but at the same time, you know, I don't mind not having it be super heavy the whole time. It's not that bad to have sort of a break, you know, an easier listening band to go just jump around to. The new stuff, it's catchy, it's just not heavy, so I obviously have conflicted feelings about that. But after them comes In Heart's Wake, which I saw them the last time they played at Warped Tour. I saw them in 2017 too, and really solid. You know, I just don't have that much to say about them. They're just a really solid, straightforward band. Vocalist, heavy hitter, really good breakdowns actually. So they're just going to be a really good middle of the pack band that I'll definitely see, and it'll be a good time. After them comes Dayseeker, and you know, I really do like Dayseeker. They fell a little bit lower in the list than some people might have expected, simply because I don't think that the sound that they have is going to sound that spectacular live. Rory, you know, I think he's a a great vocalist. I think the musicians are all great, but how do you say this? I feel like their music might be a little bit too thin, especially at Warped Tour, which is an outdoors venue. And if they prove me wrong, I'll completely take it back. I'll eat my words and admit it, but they're a little bit lower just because I don't think the Warped Tour venue is really going to serve them that well. After them comes the Amity Affliction. I've seen them plenty of times, and they're always pretty good. I like Aaron and Joel, both their vocals. They go really well together. I'm actually surprised. I really didn't think I was going to like their new song, and it was really hard to get into when they first released it with the whole like 8-minute music video, constantly interrupting and like talking over the music. But overall, I think the Amity Affliction will be a really solid band. That's another one where it's like, the other thing too, I actually should have said this at the outset. If you look at the amount of bands that are going, there's really not that many heavy ones this year. Issues coming in at, I don't know if we're at 9 or 10 or whatever. I'm just going to go through them now. We're at Issues. Michael Bone left the band. Basically have no interest in seeing them. They don't play any of the good old music, and the new stuff is just soft and pretty weak in my opinion. I never really cared about Tyler Carter, and I just think they're going downhill from here. So next. My Children, My Bride. Actually, I should have put them above Issues because I'd way rather see them. My bad. This is a Christian metalcore band that has been around for a while. They don't have too much steam behind them, even though they released an album pretty recently. It just seems like, for some reason, the fan base has never really grown on them. I feel like people haven't really caught on. Even though, I mean, it sounds like I'm talking shit, I'm really not. These guys are great. They have really good music. I've been into them for like 7 or 8 years at least. So definitely recommend checking them out. I should have put them a bit higher in this list. Sorry about that, guys. Motionless in White. I looked at their set list. They have 570 as pretty much the only heavy song. They're not playing Creatures. Doesn't look like they're playing Immaculate Misconception. Basically just continuing to become Marilyn Manson wannabes. I do not care about this band anymore. I'm basically at the point where I'm done feeding into these really big bands that used to be heavy and then just sold out and went mainstream. Don't want to support those guys anymore. After them comes Kubla Khan, which I think is essentially a much weaker, monotone, not as hard-hitting version of Knocked Loose. So, after seeing Knocked Loose at Warped Tour last year, I'm really bummed that they're not playing the Maryland date that I'll be at, but, I mean, I guess I have Kubla Khan, which is like 10% Knocked Loose. Kind of sucks. After them comes Necrogoblikon. I put them a lot lower in this list, but realistically, the day of, it's just going to depend when they play and what else is going on. Like I'm going to say in the intro to this thing, the only band on the main stage that I care about seeing is Issues. We don't have Asking Alexandria, don't have Under Oath at the show I'm going to, I should just say. For some reason, August Burns Red is not on the main stage, which I think is a blunder for sure. I can't believe that. So, really, I'm just going to be switching between the two monster stages. So, I'll probably see Necrogoblicon because the next two bands, Census Fail and Unearth, are... Well, actually, I shouldn't group them together because Census Fail I feel like is way more of a classic band, and I just don't really care to see them very much. But Unearth, I feel like, is the band that has been around forever and just like has slowly accumulated a fan base because they've been around forever. I feel like they got signed to a record label after putting out albums, and the label was just like, damn, we feel bad for you guys, like, come here, like, be on our label. I just feel like that's how the whole band goes. Like, it's just a band that I take pity on, and I feel like that's how they have their fan base. Twisted, which I had never heard of before this. It seems like they're a rap duo. I listened to one or two of their songs, and honestly, I'm not sure why these guys are on Warped Tour at all. I don't know how they made the cut. I actually, if I had to guess, I think Kevin Lyman saw that Attila was touring with Insane Clown Posse, and then Kevin Lyman was like, yeah, let's get some juggalos on the tour. Like, that's what we need. White rappers with their face painted. That's gonna be sick. No, dude. No. No. Then you have D's Nuts, which, like, maybe I'll go watch for, like, 2 minutes just to say that I saw them. But also, no. No thank you. Maybe if you're a fan of, like, Franz's, like, side rap project, you'll be into it, but you're not into Franz's side rap project because nobody is into that. So anyway, guys, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoy your Warped Tour. If you're coming to the Maryland one and you see me, definitely say hey. And, you know, I hope the playlist can help you out. Maybe show it to your friends just as like a, yeah, this is the kind of music we can expect to listen to. I basically picked all of the top songs, not the top songs, but the songs that the bands are most likely to play. So, you know, hopefully it'll help you get a little prepared for Warped Tour and you can jam out to it. And, yeah, man, I hope you guys have a lot of fun. I'll see you out there.